hello. So, we all dream about motherhood. We all think that when we become moms, we're going to do this. A lot of moms tell me before they even give birth, they're like, my kid's not going to have screen time, or my kid's not going to do this, or my kid's not going to eat junk food, or my kid's not going to drink soda. We all think we know until we become moms, and then our kids are eating junk food, or you get desperate and you give that kid screen time. And it doesn't make you a bad mom just because your kid is having screen time or eats junk food. But I think that motherhood, everyone's trying their best to be the best they possibly can. And people feel like they're being judged if their kids are not eating the right things, dressed the right way, wearing the right things, or are on iPads. It's just like so much nonsense. So when you become a mom, you don't know what's going to happen until you have that baby. And you don't know what kind of mother you're going to be. Me, I knew I would be a strong mom because my mother's very strong. We're 5 kids. Every year my mother was pregnant. Yeah, we're 5 kids. It was like back to back to back. My oldest brother, he was perfectly healthy. At the age of 7, he was diagnosed with a muscle disease. He has muscular dystrophy. It was a chromosome defect. And yeah, so by the age of 14, he was in a wheelchair. I saw my mother get up every day, take care of us. She was so selfless. I I feel like she always put us first, all 5 of us. She made sure we were good. Everything was perfect all the time. So when I got pregnant my first time, I was so stressed out, but I was like, I know how strong my mother is. And I remember watching her and I'm like, stop being stressed because you're going to be a great mother. The kids are in good hands, but you don't know what to expect until the baby comes. So my mom she really went above and beyond for all of us. She's very selfless. My brother now is 35 and she still takes care of him. He's amazing also. He did tell me not to talk about him on this podcast, but here I am. Sorry, Lumi, I love you. Ha 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 ha. He's also he's my best friend. I love him. I call him, I text him. But what I love about him is he's very strong. He doesn't complain. Rarely will you hear him complain. And he's in a wheelchair. Mind you, that's where I think I get some of my strength from, is just seeing him be so strong and not complain, because he has every reason to complain, but he doesn't. He stays strong, positive, and that definitely motivates me, being his little sister. He's great. So then I had my daughter, I had my son. My son was born perfectly perfect. He was born 10 pounds a week early. Um, Nothing was wrong with him. He was great. I nursed him. He was hitting all the milestones. He was developing just perfectly perfect. I can't even sit here and say that I noticed anything wrong with Leo. So I don't want to get on this discussion because, it's a big debate on vaccines, if the vaccines are good or bad. So I don't talk about the vaccines. Again, this is my story. This is what I experienced. Just because I experienced doesn't mean it's wrong or right. I'm not saying vaccinate or don't vaccinate. I am just telling you my story. I vaccinated my son. After the vaccinations, a few days later, after his first birthday, he lost eye contact. He stopped clapping his hands. He stopped turning his head when I would call his name. It just happened so sudden where you can't blame the vaccines, right? Because he just got the vaccines, but then you don't want to believe it's true. So you're like, where do you go? Leo was diagnosed with autism. And he completely went backwards. He stopped making eye contacts. He was attached to toys. He wouldn't wear clothes out of nowhere. Was barefoot. It was really hard. And I was pregnant, so I gave birth to my 3rd kid, and all 3 under 3 while caring for Leo, who was on the spectrum. And he needed special care. He needed more attention than the other kids. So maybe as a mom, there some days I feel guilty because maybe I gave Leo more attention and my daughter needed some more, or the baby needed some more. Yes. But as a mom, I knew I was doing the right thing for my kids. I knew Leo needed me more than his sister or his brother. I knew Leo was suffering a little bit more than his siblings. So you know what? I had to do what was right as a mom. Leo, we got Leo an early intervention. Early intervention was like my family. I love those ladies. They would come, they would help me, they would tell me what to do with him. what to buy because, sensory was hard. I was struggling a lot. My husband suffered too, but again, he was working, he had to take care of us. He was stressed as is. So I try not to put more stress on him because it's hard. Having a kid on the spectrum can be hard. So early intervention was the first step we took. We called, they came, they evaluated him. We got him OT, we got him speech. He had an ABA therapist. Before you know it, he was 3. He went to special ed. Special ed was great because he also had a para. He also got services in school. Our school district is phenomenal. The special ed education in my school district is top notch. I'm so thankful for everybody. All you special ed teachers, all you paras, all you therapists, everybody who works with special needs kids, God bless you guys. I don't think you guys get enough credit and recognition because us as moms who suffer or are overwhelmed or stressed, I can only imagine you guys always working with special needs kids and also trying to get those kids to be comfortable with you. I think that's a whole nother level. But so Leah was in special ed. The school was great. They helped me a lot. I also would bring Leo around kids who were not on the spectrum. So I would just sit at the park, and even if Leo was having a moment, I try to explain to everybody that he's on the spectrum. He needs a little bit more attention or be a little bit patient. He also has a lot of cousins. My family is phenomenal. We're 5 siblings. My sisters also have kids around the same age, and the support system was unreal. It was unmatched. Was it hard for me emotionally? Yes. It was super hard because nobody speaks about autism. Thank God Leo's thriving now. But it's just overwhelming as a mom to see your kid naked in the snow, to see your kid crying and be frustrated and not be able to use his words. I got Leo the services he needed by kindergarten. He started using more words, sentences. By the age of 5, I got him out of the diaper. At age of 5 is when his words were fully coming. And did I do anything special? No. I tried to change his diet to a gluten-free, dairy-free. It was a fail. I tried my best, guys. I tried my best as a mom. I tried my best to be the best to him, to be the best to his siblings, to be the best to my husband, and also not forget myself because you fall into this dark hole and nobody talks about it because, you get excited. You're pregnant. He was my first son. I was so excited. I was like, yes. And then when you hear that your kid is on the spectrum and you might not hear their voice and stuff, it's hard. It's so hard. So I have a poem for you guys. This poem, it's like a poem that has got me through my hardest days. It's Welcome to Holland by Emily Pearl Kingsley. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks, you make wonderful plans. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After the months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and you go off. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean, Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life, I dreamed of going to Italy. But there's a big change in the flight plan. They landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that you haven't taken a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of diseases. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people who you have never met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while, you catch a breath, you look around, and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips. Holland even has, but everyone is busy coming and going from Italy. And the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy this very special, the very lovely things about Holland. And that's what it's like having a baby. You sit there and you plan these amazing, amazing trips, these gorgeous outfits, and then you have a kid who suffers from sensory. They're not able to wear certain things. They're not able to be around certain surroundings. they get overwhelmed, they get overstimulated. And as a mom, it's like a whole new level of learning and becoming stronger and being an advocate for your child. Luckily, I was able to help Leo in so many ways. Um, I just, I tried my best to do what I had to do to get him to thrive. He's 9 years old now. He's no longer in special ed. He's in an LLD setting. He's thriving. He's verbal. He reads. He writes. It's just nobody tells you how hard that phase of motherhood can be. And I feel like a lot of women don't express it. But just because your kid is a little bit delayed doesn't mean there's anything wrong. I feel like we all have these perfect pictures in our head. And it's okay. Sorry, guys, if I read that poem, horrible. It was a little emotional. But this poem, Welcome to Holland, it's amazing. If you ever feel down about your kid or you feel like your kid is not doing what another kid is, read this poem. Because, guys, everybody is on their own level. Every child hits their milestones differently. And I feel like as women, as moms, it's not that we compare, but we want our kid to be the best. And you always worry like, oh, your kid is walking at 11 months, but my kid's walking at 16 months. It doesn't matter when your kid starts. It's as long as your kid starts, don't feel bad. Don't be so hard on yourself. I feel like as moms, we want everything to be picture perfect, but I'm here to tell you guys, it's not picture perfect. You don't know what's to come. We all sit there, we get engaged, we get married, you plan your wedding, you care about your hair, your makeup, your gown, your wedding cake, your music, your pictures, your venue. That's all we care about when we get married. And then you get married, you get pregnant, you have the baby. And when you're pregnant with a baby, you want a healthy baby, yes, but I don't think that's the first thing that we think about. I know I always said, yes, healthy, but you care about the stroller or your baby shower or your baby shower dress. We worry about everything else that's really not important sometimes. I don't think anybody really understands how important it is to be healthy, to have healthy kids. Everything else is extra in life. A lot of people reach out to me and say their kids have IEPs, and just because your kid has an IEP doesn't mean nothing. An IEP does not define your child. And some kids are a little bit more talented in other areas and not in the areas that the school district wants them to be. And it's okay. Every kid thrives in their own way. I have 3 kids and everyone is so different. Leo's my son with autism. He's thriving now. God bless. Liam's my youngest and he is a lot of energy. He's a lot of energy, but because I can sit here and say that maybe I spoiled him as a mom and maybe I could have done better, but my goal was to get Leo where I needed to get Leo. So yeah, maybe I did spoil Liam and I gave him whatever he wanted at that time just so I can sit there and cater to Leo. And does that make me a bad mom? No, I had to do what I had to do. It's not like I had a nanny or I had any extra hands. It was me with 3 kids under 3 trying to make sure everybody was good. I feel like my biggest goal in motherhood is every night, nobody broke a bone, everybody's alive, nobody choked. I'm like, I won it. It was a successful day. And then you wake up in the morning again and you tackle a whole nother day. Nobody tells you that. Motherhood is not picture perfect. It could be messy. It could be a little bit, off schedule. I love all my girlfriends before they give birth or who are pregnant. Everybody has this idea. They're like, I'm never going to do that with my kid. I'm like, just wait till you have the kid because, again, kids make us, they change us, they define us. And the goal is to try your best. And if you're trying your best, then you're already the best. I think every mother is the best mother to her kids. My mother did everything and anything she could for all 5 of us. She really catered to us. She took care of us on the next level. She made us strong. She made us very strong, and she just showed us how life is. She said, even if life gets hard, you got to get up and you got to keep it moving. And I admire her for that. Like I would always say, I want to be that strong. Life is really what you make it. And I feel like all of us moms, we have our bad days. And it's so hard because as moms, we get overstimulated. And it's okay to say you get overstimulated as a mom. It's hard. It's hard. It's beautiful. It's rewarding. It's magical, but it's fucking hard. And whoever doesn't let you complain about motherhood or whoever tells you, oh, we all did it, it's now hard, that's not okay because we all have our own different hard. And just because you have extra help or just because you have an extra pair of hands or just because, your mother-in-law comes in and helps you or your mother, it doesn't make your hard not hard. We all have our own hard. And I feel like that's another problem with women these days is everybody's either trying to compete or everybody's trying to show how hard their life is or what they're struggling or what they're We all suffer in our own little ways. Even if your kids are perfectly healthy with no diagnosis, nothing is wrong, everything is perfect, you're still suffering. Everybody has their own battles. So I just feel like as women, we have to be a little bit kinder to each other. All moms need each other. We all need support. And yeah, no judgment. Me, I feel like I tried my best. I did my best. I got Leo to where he needed because for many years I just really put my life on hold. His diagnosis really took a big toll on me. It was like bad, you know? Thank God he's verbal now, but it was hard. Like you sit there and you're like, oh my God. You just get like, you just, and the sad thing is like, you always wonder, you're like, why me? Like, I'm like, I try my best to be so nice. I'm like, I'm such a good person. Like, you sit there and you just wonder why me? Why did this happen to me? My mom suffered with my brother, him being in a wheelchair. And, I could tell she was really sad for me too. And I felt even more sad because I saw her sad and I'm like, oh my God. So I would just sit there and be like, I would just close my eyes, cross my fingers, and I'd be like, I hope today's the day he talks. And when I started hearing his words, when his tantrums like calmed down a little bit, it was just like, wow. Because again, nobody tells you what you're going to go through. And another thing is, you go out, you see a mom. A lot of women are like, oh my God, her kid is wild, or oh, her son is doing this. I don't think we should judge because you don't know what that child has. Just because a kid looks perfectly normal does not mean that they can't have a diagnosis. What I don't understand is a lot of people, like, they'll sit there and they'll look at me and they'll be like, oh, well, he looks fine. Oh, he's perfect. I'm like, I know he's perfect. That's my son. Why wouldn't he be perfect? They're like, oh, no, but he doesn't look like he has autism. I'm like, but what does autism look like? What is autism supposed to look like? Please tell me. I mean, I see the spectrum is such a big, broad, like there is so many levels of autism where it's like I kind of think in a way, I know people don't mean it saying, oh, he doesn't look like he's on the spectrum, but it could at times be a little offensive, you know what I mean? Because autism is not supposed to look a certain way, just because I don't know what people expect, but maybe they expect a show. But yeah, I've got that a lot. I used to get offended, but I'm like, you know what? A lot of people aren't educated. Leo says whatever's on his mind. So there'll be times where we go out and he'll say whatever's on his mind. And he might not mean it, which he never does mean it, he's the best. But he just says whatever he's feeling. Like if you have a big belly, he'll be like, oh my God, why are you so fat? And he doesn't mean it, but that's just like he says whatever's on his mind. One of my girlfriends gave birth and he grabbed her belly. He's like, are you still pregnant? He doesn't mean it, but that's he's high functioning now. He's doing great, but sometimes he doesn't think before he speaks. And it's okay. So yeah, that's been one of my hardest journeys. And when I got him back to where he needed to, I just got myself back. I picked myself back because I feel like his diagnosis caused a lot of depression on me, and a lot of people don't speak about it. A lot of people don't speak about being depressed for your kids because you want your kid to be successful, Then you sit there and you're worrying like, oh my God, if my kid never talks, if I die tomorrow, who's going to take care of my son? So you just become crazy. You're always thinking, you're always stressed. Like, and I feel like this is mom mode, when your just brain just triggers and you're just always on the go and you're always like, and then you feel guilty because it's like, he didn't really, thank God I had some great babysitters, but you feel guilty because, you want a night off. And because you want a night off, you feel bad to leave him because, they're so attached to you. So as a mom, it's so many emotions and so many feelings, and it sucks, but it's hard. But you know what? It's just, you have to sit there and be your biggest fan. And you have to sit there and you have to applaud yourself and you have to know how hard you work at home and with your kids and on yourself. And you have to be your biggest fan. And I feel like a lot of us moms, like, it's Mother's Day every day for us, first of all. God bless moms. But yeah, a lot of us moms, I feel like, or I'm going to speak for myself, I definitely do look to get an applaud from like my husband, my mother-in-law, my mom. Like I wait for it. I don't know why, but it's not that I like to hear it. Okay. So I like to hear that I'm doing a good job because it is hard and some days are heavy and some weeks are heavy and some months are heavy. And you just want to hear it. You want to hear, hey, you're doing a great job. You're a great mom. Your kids are so lucky to have you. That means a lot. And even sometimes if everything isn't perfect, it doesn't mean you're not great. It doesn't mean you're not perfect. I feel like a lot of people look for perfection, the clean house and stuff, and it doesn't exist. I think the most perfect thing in the world is happy and healthy kids. Everything else is extra. And I feel like maybe sometimes us moms will put the housework before the kids, and we try to keep everything perfect and in balance. And you know what? I just want to let you guys know, fuck that. Do your best. That vacuum can wait till tomorrow. The clothes can wait tomorrow. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overkill yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself, because I feel like I tried so hard trying to make sure everybody was good and trying to always clean and organize, and I felt like I tried so hard until I hit my lowest of low, and I was like, "Holy shit." I'm like, I am overworking myself, overkilling myself for nothing, for nobody. So I think as moms, we just sometimes have to sit there, drink our coffee, relax, and give ourselves a big applaud, because we're amazing. We're doing great. God bless us. All you girls, appreciate your mother. I always loved and appreciated my mom, but God, did motherhood really wake me up and give me a huge wake up call about motherhood. It definitely made me I've always like worshiped my mother. She is, God bless, probably the strongest lady I know. But when I became a mom, I'm like, how did you do this for 5 kids? No help ever. And she also worked. I'm like, how? How is it possible? But my mom taught me to just always be strong, keep my head on my shoulders and keep moving. And she's like, it's tough. It's not what you see on the internet. It's not, giving birth and everything after. Nobody tells you. When I got pregnant, we were all a little shocked about the weight gain. Even my mother was like, wow. I'm like, I know, what do I do? And that like between motherhood, the weight, nursing, giving birth. But, my goal was to keep myself in check going through these emotions. And even if I had bad days, the next day I woke up and I try to be a little bit better, if you know what I mean. But, you try your best to be the best. And just want to let you ladies know that we're amazing. And if our husbands or the men in our lives aren't telling us we're the best moms, it doesn't mean that they don't think it. But sometimes they just don't think they have to say it. You know what I mean? They think we should just know. So don't ever feel bad. But you are the best. I'm here to tell you, the best mom, the best everything. You're killing it. You're crushing motherhood. I love you. I see you. I support you. And I want to tell you, moms, that if you feel selfish for getting up sometimes and doing something for yourself and leaving the kids, don't feel selfish. It's good. It's good sometimes to leave your kids with your mom, go get your nails done. It's a mental health thing. You deserve it. Don't ever feel bad for doing something for yourself. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong to your child, because you know what? Kids deserve a happy mother. And I always say that. I think my biggest goal now is for my kids to grow up and see a happy mom, a healthy mom. Um, Depression has become huge. A lot of women are suffering really bad depression, and I get it. I don't blame them. Motherhood can be hard. It becomes every day. Like it literally, my sister the other day, she calls me and she's like, motherhood is hard. She's like, even just being a housewife and staying home, it becomes like deja vu. Every day you're doing the same thing over and over again. And it can be very overwhelming, because it's like every day, wake up, see nobody, clean, cook, laundry, wash. It becomes a routine. It becomes very repetitive. And sometimes you can definitely lose your mind. So don't ever feel bad for getting up, going on a little trip, leaving your kids with your mom, your mother-in-law, if you can get some help, because mentally I think we all need it. And it's okay to sit there and say, today I need help. There's nothing wrong with that. Never getting a babysitter or never having a day night or never going out is not going to make you the best mom. I'm just letting you know. So it's okay to leave them for a little bit. Go, live your life. You deserve it. Mental health is so important. So my goal is I try to have my kids see me happy. Like I want my kids to grow up and be like, mom was happy. I don't want them to be like, oh my God, mom was always angry, or mom was always screaming at dad, or mommy was depressed. No, I want them to see mommy happy. Like, I love my husband to death, and my husband is hands down an amazing guy. Like, I don't know if I give him enough credit, but he really is the best. But it's, I guess, the expectations. And us women, I think, I'm going to speak for myself, okay? Not even because, I feel like sometimes I can expect way too much. And a man's brain and a woman's brain, I don't think is the same. The way I think and the way my husband thinks, it's not the same. So I feel like sometimes I voice what I want instead of sitting there and expecting something and then getting disappointed. I'll sit there and I'll be like, hey, for Mother's Day, I want this. So he knows. I feel like sitting there and not letting your partner know what you want, they can't. They can do my husband always does something super special. He's great. But I feel like us women, our expectations have gone through the roof. I joke a lot Mother's Day gifts and stuff, but Mother's Day is a special day that you're appreciated and loved by your children. Some flowers and a cake is good enough. If your husband goes a little extra and beyond, extra above and beyond, that's great for you. But if he doesn't, and you just get a cake and a flower, I think still that's great. It's a gesture. It's amazing. I feel like a lot of us women are looking at other women, always comparing, and I just want to say, comparing yourself to somebody else is probably the worst thing you can do because everybody's life is so different. Your husband's payroll and another man's payroll will never be the same. So you can't sit here and expect your husband to do what other people do for their wives if he's struggling or he's not making all that money. I feel like it's a lot of pressure put on men. So you need to get up, love yourself, take care of yourself, and just be happy and thankful with whatever you have. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like a lot of women are overdoing it these days. And we sit here and I know again for example, me, I just tell my husband these days, I'm like, can you do this? This year for Mother's Day, I told him, I was like, I just wanted a cake. He ordered me a cake and I want to do a cute picture with the kids. I have everything. I don't need nothing. I feel like some years I can be petty and sit there and expect crazy gifts just for no reason. But because, I was a bitch. And I'm not a bitch, but you have those days where you're like, I want this. Oh, you didn't get I don't know why. But yeah, my goal is no. So I want my kids to see a happy mom. I get up, I dress up, and even if we're hanging out at home, I try my best to like show them that they have a happy, healthy mom. I love them. I care for them. I love their father. And I think that is the goal in life. That's a blessing. I feel the goal in life is to raise good humans, to raise happy and healthy kids, and never give up on your kids. But in the meantime, also give them like a nice home. Show them like it's a happy household. And kids are so smart. They're really so aware and alert, and they see everything that's going on. And my daughter now is 10, and I know when she was younger, she would feel like maybe I didn't acknowledge her enough, but I love her to death. I gave her so much attention. But now she can sit there and say, like, Mom, remember when Leo didn't speak? But look, now he speaks. Wow. And I'm like, Layla, we did that. We did that as a family because I was so on top of Leo and I would make Layla like, and I mean, I don't blame her. She didn't want to play, but she would play pretend with him and they would read books together. And eventually, like, he caught up. And I'm like, Layla, we did that as a family? So it's cute as a mom, trying to raise good humans and get everybody to be on the same page and try your best to be the best mom. God bless us, really. And God bless our husbands because they have to deal with it all. I give my husband a lot of credit. But my emotions during that time was hard. I think it was harder for him too. I try not to stress him out because I feel like as a woman, maybe I'm a little bit more dramatic and I can make things a little bit more crazier than they need to be. So I met my husband when I was in college, okay? We dated for a few months. In January, he did give me a promise ring. He was obsessed with me. And then in June, we were pregnant. Yeah, June, yes. August 12th, I got engaged. And September 20th, I got married. So we just hit 10 years. We're going to hit 11 years this September. And yeah, it happened fast. So the first 5 years was just motherhood. So after the whole motherhood phase, I just got myself together. And a lot of women are reaching out right now and they're like, Gentiana, tell us how you're so fit and skinny. All right, ladies, I'm going to tell you, this is all me and hard work and dedication and self-love. So that Duje Veten, when I say Duje Veten, girls, I mean it with my whole fucking heart. Love yourself. Nobody's going to love you the way you love yourself. And I'm not saying that, your partner doesn't love you. No, they love you, but they're not going to sit there and be on top of you the way you can be on top of yourself. So you know what? I literally got up and I was like, I'm going to change something. And you know what? I'm going to get on my grind and I'm going to get fit and I'm going to get skinny. So it all started. All right. I had Layla. 6 months later, I'm pregnant. Boom. I had Leo. After Leo for one whole year, well, first 6 months was rough because I had IUD, took it out. I lost the weight. Leo's 1 year old. We're in Europe. We come back pregnant. Boom. I had Liam. All right, Liam, I had in 2019. It is 2026, guys. So that's almost 7 years ago. All right, do the math. So I started going to the gym. I started for a few months and COVID hit. So after that, I was like, all right, I need to get on my grind. We're going to be stuck home. Like, what am I going to do? So I started doing like planks at home. I started working out at home because everything shut down. And when I tell you guys I was determined, it's all about determined. It's really like that. self power. What is it? The will, like to do something. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not gonna stay like this. I don't like the way I look. I don't want to look like this. So I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna change something. And you know what? It was like I got up, I started working out, and it took a couple years to get fit, like a good 3 years. Liam's gonna be 7, so yeah. And so like, I did lose the weight, but I was all soft. I started doing Pilates and cycling. Guys, I got so fit. But let me tell you guys something. I stopped bread. I stopped sugar. I stopped those caramel lattes from Dunkin' Donuts, those Dunkin' lattes. And I'll have like my large iced coffee with like a little bit of milk and sugar. But I just stopped all the syrups and stuff. Guys, it was crazy. Within weeks, I was just like losing weight. Like inches were shedding. And a lot of people sit there and they're like, was it Ozempic? Let me tell you, Ozempic, there is nothing wrong with Ozempic. If you need Ozempic, my cousin Rena, A Renewed You, will prescribe you Ozempic, baby, and she's going to have you skinny. But Ozempic, yes, you might, your skin might hang. My skin doesn't hang because you know what? I worked out. I stayed fit. I was actually toning, okay? If you get on Ozempic, everything kind of like falls and yeah. And you have to be overweight. But yeah, so I got on my grind. I got super fit and that's it. I was like, it's all about loving yourself. My brother got me a t-shirt and it says taking your life back. And it was a picture of me and my husband. And I always used to tell everybody, I used to be like, everybody just wait. I'm going to take my life back. And nobody understood. But taking my life back meant like having my own, what is the right word? I want to say the right word. It's like that confidence, but like being yourself again, because when you don't feel good, you're not yourself. I don't know. I feel like I was not feeling good for a while and I couldn't wear what I wanted to wear. I was always hiding. I wouldn't speak even if I wanted to speak because I'm like, God damn it, everybody's looking at my saggy, like, and looking at my belly and stuff. And I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? But yo, the moment you start feeling good and you get that little like that rush back, you're like, oh my God, who am I? Like I missed her. I need her. So I got myself back. And I got myself like, I feel now way better than I did when I was younger. I feel amazing. And it feels good. It feels really fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. So instead of being a miserable human, you gotta wake up and just love yourself, look in the mirror and be like, all right, what do I gotta do different to be better, to look better, to feel better, and to be more positive? Because I can definitely say that when I look better, I'm definitely more positive. And honestly, I feel like when you look better and you feel better, you spread that positivity. Like people can feel that energy, but people can also feel the energy when you're down, when you hate the way you look, when you're insecure, when you're all covered up. And I know a lot of people sit there and they're like, oh my God, it's so hard to diet, or I can't stop sugar. No, you can do whatever you want. What do you mean you can't stop it? I feel like we sit there and we make excuses for ourselves. But if you're healthy, there should be no excuse. Everybody makes an excuse. I feel like there's so many people who are suffering, who are actually sick, who actually can't do nothing for themselves. If you can actually get up every day and drive yourself to the gym, or you can make a nice, like, healthy meal or work out at home, you can do whatever you want. It's all about what you want to do for yourself. Do you love yourself enough to get up every day and make changes for the better? If you do, then you're going to do great. You just got to get up, love yourself, motivate yourself, and be your biggest fan. You got to stop looking for the what is it? The recognition? You got to stop looking for approval in everybody else. Yes. Once you love yourself and you're happy within, everybody around you just starts to love who you are eventually, and whoever doesn't love you ends up leaving. You know what I mean? But yeah, so get up, love yourself. So I went to college for fashion marketing and merchandising. Guys, I love fashion. And it's not even like fashion. I love different things. I like to be weird. I like to put outfits together that are like cute. Like today I put this gorgeous set from Revolve on. I put these nails on from Nail Reformation. My eyelashes are extended and my hair is Bella Me, baby. But yeah, I love it. I love like putting things together. I love dressing up. I like waking up every day and I'm like, all right, what am I feeling today? Today I was feeling spring. I was feeling motherly. I was feeling woman empowerment. I was feeling strong, brave, beautiful, bold. I was feeling like, angelic. I'm like, you know what? It's Mother's Day next week. Yeah, I don't know when this is going to launch. But I was like, you know what? Let me get up and feel good and look like it's Mother's Day. And this definitely feels like Mother's Day. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just like I like to get up and dress up and wear these outfits. Listen, a lot of clothing right now, I'm going to just talk shit about a lot of clothing because everything is so freaking exposed, okay? Like, why can't we make a little bit more jumpsuits, instead of minis? Like everything is a mini, and me being 5'8" and having a long torso, everything is so tiny, or everything's just like a bra with like a little skirt. And I love those outfits and I like to share them to my audience, but I really can't walk around like that. You know what I mean? Like I can't walk around in like a little bra and a mini skirt like this covering nothing as a mom of 3. So I feel like a lot of these clothing stores, need to step it up a little bit and make some things a little bit more like classy, sexy, but more appropriate for us moms. Don't you agree? Lately, I've been really, really loving meshki. I love meshki. Naked wardrobe. I love naked wardrobe because they have a variety of clothing. They have like super sexy, super professional, super, going out, hoochie mama, and then like super cute and girly because they added a touch of everything. So I love you, Naked Wardrobe. I do work with Naked Wardrobe. They're amazing. Um, Meshki's very classy, beautiful. Polly's beautiful. A lot of glitz, a lot of glam. Just the slits are a little too thigh high, if you know what I mean. Like, where you going? Like that on. But yeah, and I love Outcast clothing, but Outcast clothing is like for the young girls. And it's like for the girls who never had kids and are so skinny, you could wear those like super, super sexy outfits. But you know what I mean? I still sit there and order because, I'm a little delusional. Like I like to order things that I'm never going to wear because I'm a psycho. And I just keep it there and I just show it to my husband a million times, hoping he's going to be like, yeah, you can wear that. He's like, bro, you still have that? Like I like the weird shit. Or like I remember being 7 months pregnant, buying like a little dress from Nasty Girl and it was like gold. He's like, you look like you're going to outer space. I'm like, but it's beautiful. He's like, no, no, no. Or I like buying this black leather dress. Like it was so nice. Well, I thought it was nice. He's like, it looks like a black garbage bag. Please take it off. But that's me. I like those things. I like the different things like the beads. I love sequins. I love glam. As you guys can tell, I showcase more dresses and more like, going out and stuff. Everyday outfits, I'll be in like a pair of leggings and a t-shirt, but I like more to dress up to go out. Like I like the heavy glam. I like full head of hair. I love the eyelashes. I like the fake long nails. Nail reformation has been my best friend. They send me so many nails. I just glue them on. It lasts a week. I have like really bad anxiety. I can't sit in a chair and get my nails done for like an hour and a half, And then you start to look at them and one is a little square and one is a little round and one looks like this and one looks like this. And no, I'm not happy. Nope. No, no, thank you. So you know what? I glue them on and guess what? Everything is perfectly even. You don't got to look at it. Nothing. If one breaks, you don't feel bad because you didn't pay $200 for them. Ha, you know what I mean? But yeah, and the Bellamy extensions, I don't need them. I just put them in my head just for some value. You know what I mean? It gives you more of like a full head profile, But I have good hair. I've been taking Nutrafol recently, and the Nutrafol has totally helped me. I just wanted to say happy Mother's Day to all of you moms out there. You ladies are all amazing. I'm so proud of all of you guys. And if you don't hear it enough, you're doing amazing. Your kids are so blessed. You're an amazing mom. And stay positive, stay strong. I love you all. And you guys can find my podcast on YouTube, Duje Veten Chica, also on Spotify. I love you girls.